And yeah, realizing that the weekend is over. And that makes me sad. You know?
Where's those pumpkins? See them? Oh, what's that, Mama? Look, you see that tractor? See it?
Journey! Hi!
What's he doing? Singing?
Hey, 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 hey. 3, 2, 1.
We'll do this one. Look.
Hey, get on it.
It's the fact that it's holding you up there.
You got it, Mama. You want to crawl over here? There you go. You crawling?
Don't bounce, Logan.
Come on,
Journey, Rocky, rocket. Yay!
Mama. Journey.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Oh, don't put your hands on there. Don't put your hands on there. Where's that food? All right, we finally sat down to take a breather. Journey is playing one of the many games that they have available here. I'll be honest, this is quite overstimulating for me, so I can only imagine how she's been feeling. There's a lot of like inanimate objects that are like moving their mouth and talking and making noises, and she's not vibing with that. So we're thankfully they have a lot for the little ones to do, so if she doesn't like one thing, we just move on to the next thing. This one, however, there's not much for her to do. So she's been very much so fussy because she wants to do everything her sister's doing, right? It's a beautiful day out today for this though. We've been here about, I'd say about an hour and a half. And we only touched about half of this space. We're sorry, I'm looking at some right over there. We're at the second half of this whole thing. Like, we're moving on to the second half of it. So I'd rather not be here another hour and a half because we do have quite a bit we need to take care of at home. The girls need a really good nap. They got like a car nap, but obviously not the same thing. And I can tell that Jared's getting a little tired as well. He's a trooper. So we'll probably be leaving here shortly. My sister and her husband and her whole family are here with the boys. We kind of just like are doing our own thing, but doing stuff together at the same time because she's got 3 kids and I've got 2. So trying to get them all on one page to do something is not the most feasible. But we're having a good time. So I probably have another good hour in me. Yeah? Where you going? All right. I'll catch y'all in a few. The struggle is real. Whoa. Come on, Junie. This way. Okay. It is Sunday, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not ready. So, anyone else find it interesting that like you will have a feeling or a thought or emotion or whatever, and maybe you can't exactly like name it or explain it to somebody else, but the moment that a word description is like made known to you about something that you've been feeling, it's like the aha moment of like, yes, I've been searching for that explanation for so long, and that is perfect. That's what Sunday scaries are for me. I did not know for the longest time that people were calling it Sunday scaries, and it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense because it's Sunday and I'm scared to go into the work week, which is crazy because I literally I set the intention to set up my week in a way where by the time I hit Thursday, really Friday, but in an ideal world, by Thursday night, I already know what the beginning of next week's gonna look like, so that Friday night I'm not scrambling or staying at the office too late because I'm going into my Sabbath season or my Sabbath rest Friday night. So I don't want to be scrambling to do anything. I want to enjoy my weekend I don't want to be working at home over the weekend. So that's ideally what I try to do during the week. Does it always happen? No. You're not in the camera. You could have stayed where you were. You could have stayed where you were.
It's about to be.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sure.
You're making it such a big. Oh, is your eye okay? Is your eye okay?
It looks worse.
I mean, I can see it now.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't
Jared got a little blood vessel in his eye when we were out. But I'm getting sidetracked. Oh my god, ADHD mom. Okay, but Sunday scaries. That's what I was talking about. So ideally, I try to set my week up so that I'm not scrambling at the end of the week, and so I'm not working at home over the weekend. But the way me and anxiety kind of have this contentious relationship, it never happens that way. And I find myself almost every Sunday, like, freaking out about what's going to happen this week coming up. So I'm trying to calm those voices in my head right now that are telling me I'm unprepared, because I know this past week was literally hell week for me at work. We had so many cases up this past week. We got a new judge recently, and I'm not faulting her by any means, but that transition from one judge to the next means a lot. It means, doing things differently because it's a different judge in that courtroom, and they handle different cases in different ways, different situations in different ways. They put cases on the call in different ways, and so that was a big one. The judge before the judge we have now, she was like, not that our judge isn't kind of type A, but our judge before was super type A. Like, she would know, I've already scheduled X amount of cases, X number of cases on this day. I'm not going beyond that number. Whereas, like, our judge now, she's like, so long as it's not like a ridiculous amount, I don't really care, what I'm scheduling. Same with like her trials. Like, typically we'll do, like, if there's a jury we schedule, we don't schedule any other juries on that day, obviously. But in this room, we've kind of like now understanding that jury trials don't always go on the day that they're set. So we have like a backup jury trial on that day. So she kind of does that. So she's doing things a little differently. And I'm saying a lot to say this past week was like a hell week, because she started in this courtroom about a month ago, I want to say. And so about a month ago, the cases that she was hearing, we usually try to set like 30-day dates, sometimes 6-week dates, very rarely 60-day dates, or like 2-month day, 8-week dates. We don't really try to go out too far. So when she got into that courtroom, the 30-day dates she was setting for this past week. And I remember being in the room and looking at the call in the future, because I'm always looking ahead, because again, me and anxiety, she won't let me go sometimes. And I saw like all the cases that were being put on the call, and I like walked up to the bench. I'm like, Judge, did you want to maybe put an X on the calendar for this day? It seems like the call's going to be pretty heavy. And I don't know if she like wasn't understanding what I was getting at, or if she was just still trying to like get used to how things were going. But essentially she's just like, we're just gonna see how things go, blah blah blah. So fast forward a month later, and all these cases got put on the call for the week. So last week was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So I'm saying that because this week we're going into is not going to be as bad as last week, but doesn't really change how I'm feeling emotionally. I have a hearing tomorrow that I'm going to have to make arguments for. Here's the thing. I love being a lawyer. I love being an attorney. I love arguing, but I also don't love arguing. Right? Especially when it's like I'm arguing and I either know I'm going to lose the argument, or like I'm arguing something that's so stupid, I know I'm gonna win. Like, why do we even have me wasting my breath with this argument? Like, so this is one of those. This is one of those, like, this seems like a very trivial argument to be having tomorrow in court. I even talked to the state's attorney and she kind of agrees. But at the end of the day, I'm just doing my job. So Sunday scaries are definitely here. I'm trying to prioritize the rest still because it's still Sunday. I did read some of my book in the car. I was reading The Inmate on my Kindle. It's getting pretty good. I will say, with my other free to reads, you know, you get to that place in the book where you are kind of like making assumptions as to what the twist could be. And I'm definitely there. But the more you read, you're like, maybe that's not it. Maybe that is it, type of thing. But what I also don't like is when I do that, and if I'm right because it's too obvious, womp womp, or if I'm wrong because it's completely like random, womp womp. So we'll see. I'm exhausted, I'll be honest. The day out of the house with the kids, doing all the things, was very draining. I'm so glad Journey enjoyed herself. She did seem to have fun. I was telling Jared how, like, and my sister, because my sister was there too. I feel like I need to do better. And I mean, maybe I'm being super critical of myself, but I do feel like I need to do better with planning activities for the kids. Especially now that Jaira is getting older and growing up very quickly, where they're doing something different more regularly, or at least having consistency in an activity of some sort. Because like today we spent over $50 at this orchard and it was nice. However, a lot of the things that Journey was doing were things that we could have done down the street at the playground. You know, it was just like an overpriced, overhyped space area for kids to play with the, you know, fall theme. So I guess that's kind of what you're getting out of it. But like, that was more for me and Jared than it was for her. Like the fall theme, she's not going to catch on to that. But all the things she was doing were things that like literally we can do right next door in the playground. So I don't know. I'm not saying it was a waste of time or a waste of money. It's one of those things like now that we've done it, like if it should come up again, it's like, oh, do you want to do this? Okay, I already know kind of what to expect. So, you know, but anyways, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to update my Hobonichi. We are coming to the end of the year here and I need to order a new one. I do think for my journal family out there, my notebook people, this is the most consistent I've been with, you know, journaling, habit tracking, my to-do list. This is the most consistent I've been. I started this. Did I start this at the beginning of the year? Let's see. I actually started this in December of last year because when you get a Hobonichi, this one started in November or late November, early December, which I love because then I can get it early and kind of get an idea of like how I want the pages to be laid out. But I've been in my Hobonichi since December of last year, and I have been going every single week faithfully. So I think this is a system I'm going to stick with. I really do like it. I do think I'm going to get the Mega. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just skip ahead because this is a rabbit hole you probably don't want to fall down into. I do think I'm going to get the Mega. The Mega is pretty much just the Hobonichi weeks, but in the back where all the notes pages are, like the blank pages, there's like 200 some odd blank pages in the back. And I had been kind of like shopping around for different like planners and journals and notebooks and things so that I could put like all my habits, my health tracker, my book tracker, any notes I had for court, like all that stuff. I wanted it in one place. I did not like the idea of having this Hobonichi and then my other notebook. I had bought a Sterling ink notebook, which I actually really like. I just did not like the layout. So if I were to get that one again, I'd get that one in a similar layout to this, which is the horizontal layout versus the vertical. I do not like vertical layouts, I'm learning. But yeah, I've really been consistent with this and I want to stick with it. But I want a notebook that I can use for everything. And unfortunately, there's just not enough space in this one to do that, which is why I want to get the Mega so that I have more pages to work with. So that I have more pages to work with in the back where I can do my book tracking, my health tracking. I think I'm going to put a section back here. I haven't figured out how I want to lay it out, but a section back here for work-related things. But I want to be careful with that because this is one of those things where, like, it's just a notebook. It's not password protected. You know, if I were to lose this, drop this, have it sitting open on a table somewhere, like, obviously somebody can access it. So other than my Hobonichi, my iPad is the next thing that I'm trying to work on, you know, getting myself organized with and all the things, so that these end up being the only two things I have as part of my system. We're still working on that. Haven't solidified what that looks like, but something I need to think about. And it's something I want to have dialed down before the new year, honestly before Thanksgiving, because a little birdie told me that I may be moving courtrooms again. So I want to have my system kind of solidified by the time I get a new set of cases and clients. But we'll figure that out later. Got home after a fun event and realized how messy my house is. And that's part of that anxiety that's trying to attach itself to me. So I have to do laundry. We have to do the dishes in the sink. Meal prep, which I kind of started yesterday, not really. I have like a crispy rice salad that I've already prepped and it's done. I just need to, you know, package it up. I think I'm gonna do a Mediterranean chicken dish. I made some chia seed pudding that did not come out right, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Just trying to do all the things. 75 soft has been successful-ish. Again, this isn't something I'm being so strict on myself about or rigid about. It's more setting a deadline for when I want to kind of like analyze my results, if you will. So it's been going out pretty good. Jared and I realized we had worked out 4 days already this week, which is quite a bit much considering our usual habit of 1 to 2 times a week. So we're already off to a good start. Okay, so I think I'm just going to sit here and relax for a bit. We just got home and I am very tired. Probably do some editing. I do want to post a video for tomorrow that I've been working on. And then at some point, I'm going to sit down, get my argument ready for tomorrow. And yeah, realizing that the weekend is over. And that makes me sad.